Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be taking a look at some teams I used on my live stream, twitch.tv slash King Ivy. Give me a follow there. I'm hoping to stream more often, maybe like at least twice a week, maybe 3 times a week. We'll see how things turn out, and So anyways, the first team was suggested to me was Malmetal, Giratina, and Gyarados. I don't have a great counter switch to Giratina besides Gyarados, but if I'm late to the switch, then it's not great for me. So I am gonna not shield this, and this unfortunately puts me in a really bad position. So I have to shield to maintain switch advantage, but it's not looking amazing for me, unfortunately. And then what do I do here? So I ended up getting farmed down, which is not amazing. And then they switch out to Swampert, and they have a shield advantage, and then I missed so many bubbles there, so that's pretty bad of me. I probably could have, I don't know, could have stayed to farm up a little bit and then try to get them to do a Hydro Cannon, but put me in like a pretty bad situation, and I'm not going to be able to take out this Venusaur. Oh yeah, also this Swampert takes me out. So I reset my debuffs. I could have farmed up a little bit more, I guess. Maybe one more Thundershock, but this Venusaur hits way too hard, and these Rock Slides are not going to be to do enough damage. So I'm going to end up losing this match despite the favorable lead. And Melmetal's a decent substitute for Registeel, but you definitely missed out on the bulk. I might survive this. I do, but this Rock Slide is not going to be enough to KO. So, yeah. Late switch on my part, and they actually survived with like 1 HP. So, GG. We go into the next match. So I have 3 different teams, so this should be a pretty good video. I switch out to Gyarados, and then I'm like, please do not shield this Hydro Pump. And they don't, which is great for me. And unfortunately, I'm not able to KO it, so which is okay, not amazing. So I'm gonna look to Thundershock down, and then I'm gonna throw the superpower so I can do a little bit of damage, and then I'm gonna get out of there, and then hopefully this is a Hydro Cannon. If this is an Earthquake, then yeah, so that's not great for me. Going to be met by this fellow Giratina, so I'm not in a great position right now. I do shield, and I'm going to throw another Dragon Claw, and they shield, and I end up shielding as well, and then hopefully I can grab this last shield. So I farm up a little bit extra, and I have a Dragon Claw ready, and I go for the superpower, which to be honest, I probably should have. Let's see. And then we simultaneous KO, and then I have the Dragon Claw ready, so I'm going to be able to KO. So banking that charge move at the end was very valuable to me. Okay, great. So pick up a win using this team. I like Melmetal a lot, but Melmetal's league is definitely Masters. It's just like the bulk scales up so much for Masters. It's just still very squishy. So I pick up a very positive lead against Articuno, and they switch out into Giratina. And again, I'm slow in the switch. They go for the Ancient Power. Oh, they get the boost too. Yeah, and then basically this Pokemon becomes like unbeatable. Like I think it literally sweeps my entire team. This is why the boost Ancient Power should be nerfed. Like it just becomes unwinnable at this point in time. And like Ancient Power, you don't drop off that much from well, first off, it should be doing Ancient Power, and I switch out into Malmetal to start throwing some rock like pebble slides to this boosted Giratina. Like it tries to boost again on me. The thing is, like, in neutral matchups, like, it's favorable just to throw the Ancient Power for the chance for the boost, because you lose out on like a tenth of, less than a tenth of DPE. So, and then they go into Swampert, and yeah, so again, this is not amazing for me. I get Earthquaked. I really should just fish for the boost at this point in time. Like, that's like my only win condition. If I get the boost, I'll win, but otherwise, I'll just lose. And I'm like watching my Switch clock, and I'm like, oh no, it's definitely not coming. And yeah, I get Earthquaked again, and I go into and then Melmetal just absolutely gets melted. So that was really bad. Anyways, okay, end up in a decent situation against this Registeel lead. So obviously the goal is to have the superpower land. So I shield the Flash Cannon, and I go for the superpower, and they shield, and then I build up a little bit more, and I go for the superpower again, which in theory they really shouldn't shield. Because it's not doing that much damage. I built up a little bit of energy before switching out, and they go for the Flash Cannon. And, oh yeah, so then they make like a crazy move here. Like, the timing on this is absolutely insane. Look, right when I click on Hydro Pump, they switch into Guillotine. That was insane. Very, like, that's an insane switch. Like, I don't even know how you would count and predict that. That was absolutely amazing. So I'm going to go into my own Melmetal, because I'm going to be able to resist these moves in the back, but I need to build up a little bit up until the superpower, and then oh, they actually get the boost. Oh my gosh, Jesus, God. So I switch out to Giratina. Yeah, this is, oh God, I got boosted twice in one set. I hardly ever use Giratina in my videos. Okay, so what happens here? So I oftentimes don't get the boost. Oh, and I get the boost there. So I guess some justice. Like, I really don't need the boost, to be honest, because it won't make too much a difference in this match. They go for the Flash Cannon, and they switch into Swampert. I guess it helps me with the Swampert matchup. So I get boosted as well. Still, the boost should be is too busted. And then I think I'm able to take out this Swampert. Yeah, I think they Earthquake me here, and then I'm basically able to Dragon Claw. Yeah, the boost is too busted. Like, that really shouldn't happen. And then, like, the game clock's also winding down. Yeah, should be nerfed. So again, going to Melmetal into this Registeel. So they shield my other opponent shield the first time. Again, I don't know why I shield this Flash Cannon. So I go for this Rock Slide bait, which they definitely don't fall for. And I go for the superpower, which they don't shield. And then I switch out to catch this, hopefully Focus Blast, and it ends up being a Flash Cannon. And they switch out into Snorlax. This is okay. Like, obviously, going for the Hydro Pump would have been amazing, but I'm still going to do a lot of damage to this Snorlax. And then I'm going to be able to get off this second Crunch pretty comfortably. And so here's the concern I had, was they lick me down, which is fine. And I was actually really concerned that they're going to have a superpower or even an Earthquake. So I decided to switch out into Giratina, and they body slam me. Obviously, I'm taking a lot of damage from these licks, but it should still be okay. They body slam me, and I'm able to feint it down, take about a third of my health, but I have a lot of energy. And they switch out into Giratina, and yeah, we're basically just going to have a Giratina face-off. Stone Cold Killer right there. And they actually burn both shields. And then I was like, oh man, I kind of need that shield for because I'm not at a superpower on my Registeel, so on my Melmetal, and they have a charge move on their Registeel because they switched out with energy. So I switch out to Malmetal, and knowing that I can tank these charge moves, and I just have to be really careful of when this comes in. We end up CMP tying for the charge move, but I'm able to take it out, and I'm able to hit the rock slide and take out this Giratina. And with the time ticking down, so that was team number 1. This second team, I was really not sure on. So Wild Susan Boyle gave me this team. Wild Susan Boyle is my coach. He is the one prepares me for all my big tournaments, and I end up in a favorable lead. This is actually like a very good situation right now. Obviously, this dynamic punch is going to do a lot, but I resist the confusions, and I'm doing neutral damage with Waterfall and Hydro Cannon, and I'm able to get to the second Hydro Cannon before they get charged move, and they just let me feint it down, and they come into Registeel, and then I was like, okay, well, this is not great, and they actually shield there, which is really good for me, and I'm like, okay, I'll take it. It would only done maybe at most 40%, probably less, so we lag a little bit. And then Charizard versus Registeel is a very favorable matchup. Oh, they have Swampert in the back. I'm a little bit late, so I throw the Dragon Claw just to help out my Feraligatr. Even though Feraligatr beats Swampert, obviously avoiding the Earthquake is the key. But it's a much more straightforward matchup for Feraligatr. I just have to go for Hydro Cannon. And then I think I ended up surviving this Earthquake, which is good for me. And I take out this Swampert with the Hydro Cannon. I probably actually didn't need the Dragon Claw to beat it. And then they're forced to throw the charge move before the Hydro Cannon's going to be able to put them super low. And then I can tank 2 charge moves with Charizard. Charizard, definitely one of the hardest counters against Registeel. It's like a Alolan Marowak of Ultra League against Registeel. Kind of fitting because it doesn't have okay, this is a purple guy. This is a really good match actually. This one, and also I did another one with him. So Registeel is a huge problem for my team. So basically, I switch out and I build up a little bit of energy on the Empoleon. And at least Feraligatr takes neutral damage to the Focus Blast as opposed to super effective. So I'm going to let it take it out, and then I'm going to wait the switch clock a little bit, and then basically I just sacked Feraligatr, and I'm going to come into Charizard. I'm not sure why he didn't switch, because my switch clock definitely wasn't up, and then he throws a charge move, which is perfectly fine with me. So I have a lot of energy, and he comes into Poliwrath, and then most people don't want to shield this first charge move, so it ends up being a Blast Burn. Blast Burn is actually more energy efficient than Dragon Claw, and plus he does so much damage when unshielded. So kind of a tricky situation on my part. And what happens here? So he switched a Togekiss, very nice switch on his part, and then I need to KO this Togekiss before it gets to an Ancient Power, which is basically one away at this point in time. So, and I probably should have Waterfall down, though it would have been very close. Actually, I probably think I made the right play. They end up shielding, and then I just barely get to it. I think I could have Waterfall down as well, but this ended up working as well. So GG, Purple Kyogre, really close match. And we go into the third match in this set, and so this is the dream matchup. Obviously, these Waterfalls are just absolutely chugging away, and they go into Dragonite. Yeah, this almost couldn't line up any more perfect. And they go for the Dragon Claw, and these Ice Fangs are just absolutely mauling this Dragonite. And then here comes Cresselia. Besides Cresselia, I guess. And then I go for the Crunch. And then I go for the Hydro Cannon. Crunch and Hydro Cannon actually have pretty similar DPEs. That just shows you how insane a Hydro Cannon is. They go for the Future Sight. And then I'm up a shield. And plus I have a Charizard, and so I'm in a very good position right now. I'm gonna shield, and then I'm gonna go for the Blast Burn. I don't expect to shield, and then I'm gonna be able to waterfall down this Charizard. I go for the Hydro Cannon. I really didn't need to. I could have just double. Oh, I only have one shield left, but they go for the Blast Burn, and then I'm able to waterfall down to take it out. All right, GG, and then I think this is the fourth match, or I think so. Anyways, we'll see in a little bit. I think I only have like. Why is this video so long then? Anyways, Ultra League. That's why the video was long. So they switch out into Snorlax, and then I switch out into Feraligatr because I actually wasn't really sure what to switch into. They body slammed me. I probably could have stayed in with Empoleon, but they might have had superpower, which would have been really annoying. I guess they could also have Earthquake. I think I ended up shielding, and then they switch out. Doesn't make a huge difference. And then I go for the Hydro Cannon. They don't shield again, and then I'm able to absorb this charge move because I do resist because of steel typing. This is why I really like Empoleon. Plus these waterfalls absolutely chunk away at most Pokemon. And then I was like, please don't have Swampert. And I was like, man, I don't know how the heck I am going to beat this Swampert. So they switch out into Snorlax, which is fine. I need to deal with that Snorlax anyways, so I built up a little bit of energy. I switch out into Feraligatr, and then they still have one shield left. So this is my plan. So I'm only 2 waterfalls away. So basically my plan is to burn the shield with Charizard because I'm going to be able to tank a Hydro Cannon, and then they have to throw a Hydro Cannon to KO me. So as long as I threaten another charge move, and then we actually CMP tie to this, so they end up burning the shield, which is really good for me. And then I'm only 2 waterfalls away, which is 3 turns, so there's no way they're going to get to another charge move because they just fired it off. So I won by like very minimal HP and like 1 turn. So I lead Empoleon into Gyarados. So I don't really have a great play against this Gyarados. This is going to be crunch. I'm going to resist the Dragon Breath, but they're absolutely chugging away, and they're able to do neutral. So I'm like, okay, 1 play. Blizzard on this Gyarados and take it out. Because most people carry Flash Cannon as their second move, so it ended up like working out really well for me. Oh, they ended up lagging. So I let them catch up a little bit, and I go for the Hydro Cannon, and then I don't expect them to lick me down all the way just because I'm going to hit another Hydro Cannon. So I'm really debating on like what I think is in the back. Is it going to be Swampert? Is it going to be Registeel? Ends up being Giratina, which is very annoying. So I throw the Dragon Claw, and then this actually works out well for me because I have coverage, and I'm able to Ice Fang attack down. And I go for the Hydro Cannon bait, hoping that they shield. They actually don't shield. I was like, oh, okay. And their Charizard is, and their Snorlax is very low. And I think we end up in a CMP tie, and which is amazing for me. Not that my Charizard has enough health to undercharge the Body Slam, but I'm going to be in a good position. I'm able to land the charge move. I think this is the 5th match, and then I switch out to my next team. Why is my next set of battles so long? Do I air out? And why is this 3rd set so long? I think I... Nope, okay. So I lead Shiftry into Giratina Origin, which is amazing. And then I switch out into Poliwrath. A little bit slow on the switch on my part. I shield the first one because I'm gonna have to shield one of them anyways. And then ends up being, this is why Registeel is so annoying. Unless you switch into Charizard, you have to shield, and they shield as well, which is fine because I'm gonna be able to outpace it because it only takes me like six mud shots at most to be able to get the charge move. Oh man, I'm so bad at this fighting animation. So they did a really nice switch into Giratina, and I switch out into Shiftry, and then I look to land this Foul Play, which I don't think KOs. It does not. And then I'm just going to absorb this Shadow Ball, and I'm able to farm down. And they went to their own Shiftry, which is a brilliant move. Really brilliant move, because it wastes energy on my part. So I go for the Leaf Blade, and I would have been able to land one more Leaf. Oh man, they just like did all sorts of switch trickery on me. I let this go, and then I still have a Registeel. Oh, so what do I do here? So they end up flash canning me, which is fine. I want them to expend their energy anyways, so I can farm down. And then this is a pretty straightforward match from here. Foul Play. I'm gonna flash cannon. They're gonna be able to foul play one more time, but they need like 3 foul plays to take me out. Maybe 2.5. Let's see. Yeah, probably 3 actually. 3 plus the snarls. Just that Shiftry doesn't scale up as well. As you can see, it only goes to 23, 33. I really like it, but so going against my friend Doombug. So favorable matchup for me. And they do a nice switch, this switch is okay for me. And then I switch out to Registeel. And I'm going to let this Frenzy Plant come through. Frenzy Plant's a broken move, man. It does so much damage resisted, even to Registeel. This is not going to KO. They end up shielding it, which is good for me. They probably want to preserve this Shiftry for this Venusaur. So I'm watching the switch clock. Unfortunately, I'm able to get to the... so I expect them to switch out, which they do. And then I'm going to absorb this charge move, which is fine. They switch out into Shiftry. And I'm going to absorb this charge move by deciding to being a Dragon Claw. It actually does so much damage. And then this doesn't KO, which is very annoying. So I end up shielding this Dragon Claw, and I farm up just a little bit, and then I go for the Foul Play. And what do they come in with? What does he have left? He comes in with Venusaur, which is fine for me, and takes me out. I switch out, and he has Snorlax in the back. So this is going to be good for me because I have energy on Registeel. I'm going to be able to land this Dynamic Punch. I'm able to hit the Excellent there. I think I hit another one. I really, sometimes I like get so flustered, like I'm thinking about too much. We're going to farm up a little bit, just enough to avoid the Body Slam, but enough so I can threaten the Ice Punch. And then I'm able to Ice Punch this Venusaur. It's going to take it out. So GG. The Frenzy Plant actually did quite a bit to my my Registeel. So again, go Shiftry into, and they go into Togekiss. Oh my gosh, I'm not sure they knew my team, because like I've never seen this done before. Yeah. So I end up not shielding this. Thinking it was going to be Ancient Power. It ends up being a Flamethrower. So then I go for the Flash Cannon, and they actually double shield. And I was like, man, do they... I really need this Flash Cannon. And we end up CMP tying. So I end up throwing the Flash Cannon and taking it out. And then I think I make a dumb move here. I switch out into Swampert, and I tried to catch it on... a dumb move on my part. Especially since this is Dragon Breath version. Yeah, stupid me. I tried to KO the KO it. Yeah, it does not put me in a great position. And I just barely get off this foul play. And then this Shift Tree has to throw right away, or else I'm going to Leaf Blade it, and then that would be GG. So Poliwrath actually loses a Swampert in the 0 shield, so I need to sack. So I go for the Dynamic Punch, knowing that it's a little bit less energy than Earthquake, and then I sack, and then I perfectly time the switch. And then they take out my Registeel, and then that's GG's. Yeah, oh man, that would have been... obviously, I had a second opportunity to sack as well. Is this why I waste all my time? Okay, no. Oh, did I just not speed up? I don't know. Okay, so obviously, very poor lead. I should have went into... yeah, this is not good. I got absolutely annihilated. I should have went to sacked Poliwrath, like try to grab a shield or two or something. So I ended up shielding the Earthquake, and I'm like, please, just keep Earthquaking me. And then they double shield, and I shield, and they Earthquake me again. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And then I built up for a Flash Cannon, and then I actually debate on which one's better, and then I remember that Leaf Blade would be slightly better, and I'm not able to get the second one off anyways. So I'm going to be able to Flash Cannon this Togekiss right away. I don't think this KOs. Oh, it does KO. Okay. I could have farmed a little bit more, I guess. Yeah, I probably should have farmed up a little bit more. Would have given me a chance to... yeah, so... basically have no chance here. And they switch out into Feraligatr. Very interesting on their part. I'm going to build up a little bit extra energy. And then I undercharge this. And then I go for the Dynamic Punch. But this is pretty much over. I hit the Excellent here, but it's not enough. And then they I don't know, something weird. Like, end up... yeah, that was weird. But anyways, they undercharge it, and then they shot me down afterwards. Oh yeah, so then actually I don't have the team. So this is Escavalier, Feraligatr, Alolan Muck. I didn't create a graphic. This is why the video is so long. I forgot I did like 4 sets. So I ended up shielding the Hydro Cannon, which is not good. But these Ice Fangs are adding up, and we're lagging a little bit. A little bit of fast move catch up. If this is an Earthquake, I end up shielding. And then I think I ended up taking the Swampert. Oh, no, they end up... I think I survived this Earthquake. And I switch out into... we both switch out at the same time. And they blind switch to Alolan Muck. Again, looking to get the energy advantage. This is going to be a Dark Pulse. This is going to do neutral damage. Do a lot. Escavalier is very squishy. And then I just Mega Horn this. I just Mega Horn wherever it comes in because I don't want the charge move to come at me. And then I try to go for the Mega Horn. They end up catching me on, but I'm in a good position right now. I have the health advantage versus this Lapras, and Lapras expended all its energy, and I just need a double Dark Pulse. And then I tried to sack because they clearly had enough for an Ice Beam. And then they end up letting me get to this Hydro Cannon, which is great for me. And then we end up CP tying, so puts it super low. So the sack ended up working. I really didn't need to sack, to be honest, because I was going to survive 2 surfs anyways. And I was very close to the charge move, so... we go into the next matchup, and this is a very poor matchup for me, so I switch out to Feraligatr. And they switch out to Meganium, and I go for the Crunch. And it does a decent chunk. I really debate shielding and then trying to farm down, but Um, yeah, not a great situation for me. So I'm going to look to throw this charge move right away. And here comes Giratina. And then I'm like, please throw the Dragon Claw. And they threw the Dragon Claw. I was like, Ancient Power is neutral, so it is a like way better move. And I go, it's gonna be. I think I ended up losing this match, but it was interesting. I think I ended up shielding. My Alolan Muck is actually good enough to beat Registeel in neutral in the one shield, which you have to have like a pretty high stat product. So my goal is to build up for this Dark Pulse, so I can Dark Pulse this Giratina in that. So what I do here, I switch out, and then I Mega Horn this Giratina, which actually does a pretty decent chunk, and they end up Dragon Clawing me, and then I think they throw the Ancient Power. Yeah, they throw the Ancient Power, and then I'm gonna be able to Dark Pulse. Oh yeah, but this, there's no way I can win. I should have over farmed. That was my problem. I should have, if I would have did like 2 Snarls, absorb the Dragon Claw, knowing that they're not gonna lock on me down. Like they have to. Well, the thing is, I could absorb 1 more, and be very close to being locked. Actually, I probably would have got locked on down. So I had to like time that perfectly, and I did not. So GG to my opponent. So go Escavalier into Typhlosion. Not a great situation for me, but the damage comes from the charge moves. So I switch out and catch the Blast Burn on Feraligatr, and they switch out into Poliwrath, and then I go for the Hydro Cannon because the Crunch is also resisted, and I do a decent chunk. And they Dynamic Punch me. I'm able to absorb it. And then I think they actually let me get off 1 more charge move. And I end up... we end up CMP tie. Oh man, so many CMP ties worked out for me. They Ice Punch me, and then I go into Escavalier. And then I was like, please Ice Punch me. They Ice Punch me, which is great for me. What happens here? Okay, they go into Snorlax, which is interesting because I can't remember their first Pokemon. Oh, they had Typhlosion. Maybe they didn't want Typhlosion to take the charge moves, which I think is what ended up happening. Because they do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, they let me farm up some more, and I switch out into Alolan Muck. I have the shield advantage. It's like pretty close in terms of how quickly get to the charge moves. I'm gonna shield. They Blast Burn, and then I'm gonna Dark Pulse, and then they end up body slamming me or Earthquake. I can't remember. They body slam, and I'm gonna switch out into. I try to switch out Escavalier to faint down. So I really like Escavalier. Obviously double weak to fire. It's like interesting movesets. It's interesting. It has like able to take neutral damage from the charms, just like Lucario, but has like Aerial Ace, which is good for other counter users, mostly the fighters. Good against grass. So as you can see, we're both obviously double resist the counters, and then I switch out into Feraligatr, and they switch out into Giratina. I was like, oh, this is great. Okay. And then I go for the Crunch, and I think I end up taking this, and then I think I end up like, oh no, I don't. I just take it down. Okay, so kind of, I should have went to Alolan Muck, but they Dragon Claw me, which is good for me. I'm able to, they Dragon Claw me again, which is good, and then I just blind Mega Horn. I should have aerial aced. It would did more. I don't know if it did more damage. And then this Togekiss is basically like I have no play against this. I think they have like a Swampert in the back or something. And yeah, so not a good situation for me at all. And I think we end up CMP tying for this charge move. So yeah, GG to my opponent. They have Rich Steel. Yeah, there's no play for me in this case. Maybe if I no, they have 2 shields, so I'm just gonna let it go. GG. Yeah, not great for me. So I end up in this favorable lead, and then I go into Gyarados. I wasn't really sure what to go into. I guess I went for Alligator because I don't. The Thundershocks are do a lot of damage to for Alligator. I think crunching, and I was like, okay, I need to control switch advantage. So I end up shielding, and then I should be able to get to this Hydro Cannon, and then I should be able to take a shield. And I can't remember if they try to farm me down. Oh, yeah. So they definitely can't farm all the way down. I also had laid a Hydro Cannon. So I go into Escavalier. These Rock Slides are going to do quite a bit. Also could have superpowered. I go for the Mega Horn, even though it's resisted. They Rock Slide me, and I go for the Aerial Ace. I didn't want to fool around and try to counter down, even though maybe that was the right play. They end up going to Armored Mewtwo, and I was like, oh, I should have Mega Horn. But it's fine. I have a Alolan Muck in the back, so I'm able to Dark Pulse, and they Dynamic Punch me. And even if they land another Dynamic Punch, I would survive. And that's all the battles. So 4 different teams. If you guys want to see some live stream battles, definitely check it out. Twitch.tv/KingIV, KIENGIV. And I'm going to I'll figure out my schedule, what that looks like. But tell me, like, do you want me to stream GBL? I also do, like, if people want to battle me, like you can like type the word battle in, then I randomly draw people. I have like lots of like fun ideas, lots of cool concepts. Some I upload to YouTube that you can check out later as well. But yeah, let me know what you think of these battles and these teams, and I will see everyone in the next video.